Hey Ted, people think we're crazy for dressing up like crows, but at least we're not chopping off limbs and attaching weapons to them. I mean, look at that guy. And then you have that weirdo. And then that poor soul. Age of Sigmar Warcry, Corvus Cabal versus the Unmade. Hey folks, welcome to another Warcry battle report. Today we have the furries who dress as avian critters and the crazy people that shave off their body parts and replace them with weapons. Warcry, what a game. Anywho, let's introduce the warbands and flip some cards to see what is in store for this combat. For the Corvus Cabal and the hammer, we have the Shrike Talon and a pair of Cabalists with spears. In the shield, we have the Shadow Piercer and her trusty Spire Stalkers. And finally, in the dagger, we have a trio of Cabalists. Moving on to the Unmade and the hammer, we have 3 Ascended ones. In the shield, we have the Blissful One leader backed up by 3 Awakened ones with their brutal polearms. And finally, in the dagger, we have the Joyous one and an Awakened one swinging a chain. Onto the cards. First, we flip the terrain card and it looks like all of the action will be in the center of the board. Here it is, all set up on the table. Now, normally I would do the deployment card next, but I wanted to show you the victory card first. It looks like today we are playing the Gauntlet. The Unmade win the roll-off and have decided to be the defender. The goal for the Unmade is to reach the other side of the battlefield with at least half their warband to achieve victory. This means the Corvus Cabal must stop them before they reach the battlefield edge. With that being said, now we will flip the deployment card and we get Massacre. Very fitting. For this battle, the Unmade will be starting in the red locations and must escape to the south edge of the battlefield. This may be difficult considering they only have 1 deployment on their first turn. And finally, for the twist card, we get Apex Predator. The players roll off, Corvus Cabal winning the roll. They get to set up this Raptorix on the battlefield, and instead of its 12 wound characteristic, it will have 30. This bird should have some fun this game. Now that we know the battle plan, we will start setting up the forces. This is my first time using the Unmade, and this seems like a tricky scenario, but I am excited and this should be a fun one. With that being said, we begin turn 1 initiative. Corvus Cabal will roll and they end up getting a pair of doubles and a couple singles. For the Unmade, they only roll up a single double, but they do have the initiative. For their wild dice, they decide to get another double, and the bird folk want a chance to go first, so they add 1 to their singles. Both sides then roll off, and the Ravens get the first go. With the initiative, the Corvus Cabal will try to take control of the Apex Raptorix, and on a 4, they get to decide where it goes. With a total 10-inch movement, the Orange Chicken will fly over to the mess of Unmade fighters and hold them down for the turn. Next, the Blissful One leader will swing in twice at the beefed up bird. With 10 total attacks, hitting on 4s, the Rusty Blade slamming a casual, 14 damage, taking the bird near half health. The opponent's leader, the Shadow Piercer, will then take a turn. She will move up and then use the double ability Harrying Raven. She will select one of the Awakened ones near the Raptorix and force it to sit still until the end of the battle round. Now we will hop back over to the Unmade, who will use the double rush ability to move an Awakened one far away from the battle to make it to the other side of the board. He will take the long route around the green walls. One of the Spire Stalkers will take the next turn and use the rush ability to move up to a location where the Unmade reserves will pop in the next round. This will start creating a good blockade to stop them from getting to the border. Next, the Awakened one with no face will also use the rush ability to get away from the birds and get on going to the escape route. The other Spire Stalker will then follow his partner over to the next turn deployment of some Unmade. For the final activation this turn, the Awakened one that was forced to sit still will attack twice into the Raptorix, hitting on 5s and deals out a decent 5 damage. And to make things easy on myself, the final 3 Cabalists will all double move and spread out to confront some of those Awakened ones that are trying to be sneaky. After all these bird watchers complete their moves, this officially ends Battle Round 1. The Raptorix took a beating this battle round, and the Corvus Cabal were smart to fly it up there to slow down the Unmade movement. but the Unmade are moving some fighters to the escape zone. We shall see what happens in Battle Round 2. As always, we roll off starting with the Corvus Cabal. They end up getting a whopping 3 doubles. The Unmade will then roll their initiative, and they get 2 doubles and a couple singles. The Unmade have the initiative and will make a triple with their wild die, and the bird folk will do the same. The Unmade have the initiative and will put in their reserve units that come in this battle round. And the turn will start off with the big leader herself, the Blissful One. She will attack once into the Raptrix and see if she can kill the beast. Hitting on 4s, the first attack deals in 6 points of damage, so she will attack in again, and this time the beast is no longer a threat. The Blissful One will then use the Vessel of Torment triple ability. Since she has taken down the Raptrix this turn, she is now granted a bonus move and attack action. She will first move up to the Shadow Piercer leader and attack in. Hitting on 4s, and she deals in 6 damage. Quite the turn for the Unmade leader. Now the turn will move over to the Corvus Cabal leader. The Shadow Piercer will take 2 attack actions into the Blissful One. Hitting on 4s, the leader pushes through 6 damage as well. And just before her activation ends, she will use the Inspiring Presence triple ability to give a Spire Stalker the go-ahead in the initiative. The red-headed Birdman will use his first action to move forward next to the Awakened One, and then attack in. Hitting on 3s, the Stalker slams in an exact 10 damage to take down the fighter. Well, that guy was pretty short-lived. An Awakened One will go next and try his best to get the hell out of dodge. Using the double 5 for the rush ability, he moves forward 10 inches, which is barely within 1 inch of the border edge. So 1 Unmade fighter has escaped. 4 more to go. The purple-haired Spire Stalker will go next and attack twice into the Joyous One. Using the Onslaught ability, she gets a bonus to the attacks. She hits on 4s and smashes in, a casual 22 damage. And the birds take another fighter off the board. Wow, that was an amazing roll. The No-Face guy is going to go next and move his little legs as fast as he can to get away from these pesky birds. He is not in a very good situation as there are a number of Cabalists nearby, which, speaking of them, the closest one nearby will move up and for his second action attack in. Hitting on 4s, the Cabalist deals out 3 damage. The final activation for the Unmade is the last Awakened One, who will try and run through the center of the battlefield unnoticed to reach the other side. Then things will shift back to the Cabalists. One will move off to the border where the 3 Unmade fighters will appear next round. While this happens, the other Cabalist will use his turn to move up to the No-Face guy and attack in. Hitting on 4s, the fighter deals out 2 more damage, bringing our favorite Unmade down to half health. This will then end Battle Round 2. Corvus Cabal has done a fantastic job to shut down the Unmade. If they take down 3 more fighters, they automatically win the battle. Both sides will have reinforcements joining this next battle round. Can the Unmade help out their pals to reach the escape zone? Let's find out in Battle Round 3. We start off with some classic initiative. For the Corvus Cabal, they roll up 1 double and a bunch of singles. For the Unmade, they roll their 6 dice and get 2 doubles and a couple singles. The Corvus Cabal have the initiative and want to keep it that way, so they give themselves a triple, and the Unmade will upgrade to a triple as well. So we begin Battle Round 3 with popping in the reserves. The Hammer Squad for the Crows shows up far away from the combat, while the Unmade Hammer appears right by the exit. This should be interesting. We start things off with the Shadow Piercer. She will use the triple as a double for the Onslaught ability and attack into the Blissful One. She is really hoping to take the fighter down here, hitting on 4s with 10 attacks, and deals in 16 damage, which is enough to take down the enemy leader. If Corvus Cabal take down 2 more fighters, that is the game. An Ascended One who just entered the battle is barely in range to attack the Cabalist next to the Awakened One. The Ascended One will stab in, hitting on 3s, and deals out exactly 8 damage on the first attack, taking it down. He will then move right up to the other enemy Cabalist and end his turn. A weak little Cabalist will now go. With both of his actions, he will attack into No-Face Nelly, hitting on 4s. He manages to hit on 5 of his attacks, which is exactly the remaining hit points for the fighter. Next, the last living Awakened One will use the double 3, rushing out of the battle, making his way to the safe zone. 3 more models need to escape for victory. Next, another Cabalist will attack twice into the Ascended one who just entered the battle. Hitting on 5s, he deals out an amazing 9 damage, but that is 1 damage away from defeating the fighter. That is unfortunate. Because of this scary incident, the heavily damaged fighter will disengage and then move off the board to the safe zone. Only 2 more models for the Unmade. To speed things up, I will move up all the Corvus Cabal units into position since all they can do is double move. And there is no chance any other models can get in range and attack into the final 2 Unmade fighters left on the board. So the one here will make his way to the safe zone, while the other will wait for Battle Round 4. And it's looking a little grim for him. So we will end Battle Round 3 here. The Unmade need to escape with 1 more model, and if this Ascended one gets the initiative, he has enough movement to escape. Now we move on to Battle Round 4 Initiative. Corvus Cabal will roll first. They end up getting a double and 4 singles. The Unmade roll their initiative dice and end up getting 2 doubles and a pair of singles. This means that Corvus Cabal cannot lose out on the initiative and will be going first. No wild dice will be spent this round. For the Crows, the Shrike Talon will attack into the Ascended one, using the double for the Onslaught ability. A little overkill with 12 attacks here, hitting on 4s, and the Birdman takes down the Ascended one. This means Corvus Cabal sneaks out of victory. It came down to the wire, folks, and more importantly, down to the initiative roll. Sometimes going first is more important than ramping up those ability dice to something special. I also realized that the Unmade can crush in some damage with their leader and Ascended one models, but lack in the health department. If the Corvus Cabal made contact, models were getting removed. And the Crows rolled well on most of their attacks. Overall, I enjoyed the matchup and like trying out this new warband. At least new for me. Keep an eye out, folks, for some more bird folk and the strange ones who like to turn themselves into living weapons. Until next time, thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.